Horizontal holes often present a bit of a problem in 3D printing. As the 3D print builds up above the midpoint of the hole, the overhang becomes increasingly shallow, until at the top of the hole it becomes greater than the printer can manage, and you get bits of filament hanging down ragged. Fortunately, the layers above that often succeed in bridging over the hole left by the failed overhang, so that the entire print is not destroyed. But that still leaves you reaming out crud from the holes in a pretty ragged look. A common workaround to that is to add a bit of a teardrop at the top of the horizontal hole to keep the overhang small enough to print cleanly. That does, of course, increase the workload in CAD a little bit to design the teardrop shape. A little while ago on Reddit, I saw a post about an add-on module for the part design workbench called Fused Filament Design. I placed a link in the description below. In part design, it allows you to select a hole feature and modify it with the teardrop shape. Let me show you. Start in part design. Create a sketch on the XY plane. Just a simple centered rectangle. The exact dimensions don't matter. Pad the sketch to 100 mm to give us a vertical surface. Select the vertical surface and create a new sketch. Drop a circle on it somewhere. Doesn't really matter where, doesn't really matter how big, let's say 10 mm in radius. Close the sketch. Select the sketch and the hole tool. Set the hole to be through wall and a diameter of 20. Unsurprisingly, there's our hole. Now select the hole feature in the tree and the hole wizard from the Fused Filament Design. In the wizard, select Add Teardrop Shape. I want the 120-degree teardrop angle. Click OK. There's the teardrop. Very simple, very easy. Looking in the Hole Teardrops feature, I can see that it accomplishes this by creating a sketch. Open the sketch to see what it's doing. It looks fairly simple. In principle, it creates an arc with the radius of the hole. Then above that creates a V shape with endpoints tangent to the arc. It sets a 120-degree angle constraint on the V shape to create the teardrop. Presumably within the teardrop feature, this created sketch gets pocketed into the body. But I personally prefer the part workbench. In the part workbench, we don't create a hole feature. We create a cutting tool in the shape of our hole and Boolean cut it from the object we want to put the hole in. I suppose I could just take the code that generates the sketch and turn it into some kind of macro or tool for the grab bag. The Fused Filament Design module is, after all, under the LGPL. But I believe it's going to be much cleaner to just compute the geometry of the cutting tool and create it directly. This process is somewhat simplified since I already have the correct shape available for analysis. I just need to do that analysis and use it to inform a compute shape function. For the first step, I'm going to recreate the sketch only with the arc centered on the origin. Starting in the part workbench, create a sketch on the XZ plane. Create a centered circle 10 mm in radius. That's a fairly large hole, but 10 is a nice round number for seeing mathematical relations. I use the polyline tool to create the teardrop extension above the circle, and I'll set the angle to 120 degrees. There seems to be some kind of a bug here. Sometimes when I try to set an angular constraint, it collapses the whole thing down like this. I'm not sure what it is, but I do know that if you right-click, it'll set it back to right and you can try again. Such is life when you're using a development version. I'll set the two legs of the V shape to be tangent to the circle, and that's a fully constrained sketch. Obviously this couldn't be extruded without some trimming, but I don't intend to extrude this, it's just for analysis. The first thing I see is that the tool shape should be easily enough generated by creating a cylinder and an extruded triangle and fusing them together. I'll switch to construction mode and put in the base of the triangle. It's perfectly fine that it's inside the circle. The fusion will take care of that. But since I'll be creating this shape, I'm not going to be able to rely on a tangency constraint. I need to compute the position of the base of the triangle when I'm computing the shape. Dimension the vertical distance from the base of the triangle to the origin of the circle. I'm going to make this a reference constraint so I can just have a look at the value. I'm going to need a way to compute that distance, and it occurs to me. This is all based on a circle, and where there are circles there is trigonometry. So I'll drop in a construction line from the origin to where the triangle meets the circle. I'll create a reference constraint for the angle of that diagonal construction line, and it's 60 degrees. Suspiciously, that's half of the angle of the teardrop. Now I'll take a reference constraint for the length of the base of the triangle. Also suspiciously, it turns out to be 10 millimeters, the radius of the circle. So it looks like I can get the height of the base above the center as the sine of 60 times the radius. Knowing the length of the base and the height of the base will allow me to compute the two lower points of the triangle. Now I just need to get the height of the peak. Adding a reference angle constraint to the triangle, I see that I get a measure of 30 degrees. That's either half of the 60 degrees or it's the complementary angle. But either way, that gives me my answer. The triangle is bisected and the base angle is 30. So I know the length of the base, and that half of the length will be the base of one of the right triangles. So if I take tangent of 30 degrees times that length, I get the height of the peak of the triangle above the base. Since I already know the height of the base, I can add those to compute the vertex of the triangle. Next step, let's try that out in a macro. So here's a simple macro to reproduce the teardrop. To start, define a few angles since the trig functions in Python operate on radians. Define degree 30 to be pi over 6. 2 pi radians is a full circle. Pi radians is a half circle. Pi over 2 is 90 degrees, and we need a third of that. So pi over 6 radians. Clearly degree 60 is twice that, so I'll just set it to degree 30 times 2. Since I'll be using the sine a few times, I'll pre-compute that as sine 60, which is just math.sine degree 60. For testing, I'll hard code the radius to 10 millimeters and the height to 50 millimeters. First, create a cylinder of that radius and height. The part module includes a function that, given a list of points represented as vertices, it creates line from point to create a wire. Define that list as polypoints. The first point x value is going to be radius over 2 from the origin. We establish that the base of the teardrop is the radius of the circle. It's bisected by the y-axis, so half of that. The y-coordinate is sine 60 times radius. We're drawing this on the xy plane, so z is 0. Now over to the other side of the triangle. Since it's just mirrored across the y-axis, the x will be negative radius over 2. The y is the same as the first vertex, and so is the z. Now we just need the peak. Since the peak is on the y-axis, x is 0. Y will be sine 60 times radius plus math.tangent degree 30 times radius over 2. Z remains 0. In order to create a closed wire, the makePolygon function requires that the point list include the line back from the end to the beginning. So append the first point back to the polypoints list to close the wire. Now call makePolygon to create triwire. If we just extrude the wire, we'll get a shell, so we need to turn it into a face. Tri equals part.makeFace triwire. Now extrude it by height times the Z unit vector to create the prism. Finally, fuse that into the cylinder created in the first step. Call part.show to put it on the screen and in the model tree. Let's run it and see how it works. That looks good. This video is already starting to run long, so in the next video I'll generalize this macro and convert it into a proper feature to be included in the grab bag. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. If there's anything you'd like to see covered here, please let me know in the comments below.